And we are back on
The
the
Rodriguez
Rodriguez
Show.
Show, and we have our first guest for this episode. First, she's returning for the first time in 2023. Frosty has been on. Oh, why did I say Frosty? Frosty's here. Hey, the second time I've said somebody's name before
Just
introducing
spoiled it,
them.
bro.
How are you, Frosty?
I am doing great, thank you. How are you, Caesar?
I'm
How's
great.
everyone?
I'm great. And you brought your friend who is helping you organize Talk to Me Tuesdays. You guys are collaborating on this one. Kundan, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. Good to share for you too.
Yeah, shout out to Kundan one time.
So Talk to Me Tuesday right away is an event happening starting next Tuesday at the 4th Street Market. It's going to be every Tuesday, 7 to 9, right?
Yeah, so starting at February 7th is going to be our debut, but it's going to be at 4th Street Market in the back patio. And if you are familiar with Mo Better Mondays that happened there at 4th Street every Monday, it's pretty much the same thing, a different day, community conversations, and just a place to have open and honest discussions, which I think is really important. But I'm really excited to invite Kundan and as a co-host because they were one of the most consistent attendees and participated in so many discussions. I think they are going to do great as a host, and yeah, I'm excited to, share this honestly responsibility. I do feel like it is a lot of work, and that's something Kundan and I have talked about. But I think it's really necessary because if we don't do it, I don't want to hold my breath and wait for somebody else to provide that for the community. So thank you, Kundan, for being here and being a part of this. But yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about yourself and your experience with Mo Better Mondays or anything like that?
Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, I really appreciate you inviting me. So yeah, I really enjoyed More Better Mondays because I saw it like I was already part of these online Facebook activist community groups. And like I was part of, for example, conversations with white people, a lot of these anti-racist groups, and then eventually anti-colonial groups.
Oh, okay.
And they did do a lot to change the culture and the narrative around these topics that are very tough, right, to talk about. But there was still so it was because it was online, we were able to scale it, so that was their advantage. But there was still a limit in the sense that it was all mostly text-based conversations where you don't get to see their face, you don't get to hear their voice, so you cannot read body language, tonality, any of these things. So there's room for lots of misunderstanding and miscommunication there. And then a lot of these social media sites do a lot of censorship. I don't know if you know this, but I think your listeners should know that even Instagram banned Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s own words on his own birthday.
What?
Yes. And also Malcolm X's own words again on his own birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, on that post, I even said, today is Malcolm X's birthday, and they still banned his words. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy how much they censor online. I've seen that happen. Even when you're not intending to do something negative, there's certain things that'll just trigger a takedown, right?
Right, anything that criticizes the system at its core and speaks the real truth instead of the fluffy sounding stuff.
Yeah.
The Martin Luther King quote was said that, he basically said the white, we just had Martin Luther King Day, right? He basically said that the white moderate, right, is more dangerous than even the KKK to him, a bigger stumbling block, right?
Yeah.
Because they're more committed to order than justice.
I see what
right?
you're saying, yeah.
So that was the post that Instagram didn't like, and they thought it was racist against white people, which by the way is not a thing.
It's tough to have those conversations online. So,
right, yeah. So
now you're doing it in person at Talk to Me Tuesdays. And so one of the things, so there's going to be opportunities to have these conversations there, right? What else are you featuring there? Is there featured vendors and artists as well?
Yeah, so we're featuring vendors, and Kundan also wants to start doing maybe workshops there. But going back to Kundan's point on, having these conversations
in person,
and the importance of, being there in person, because that's how, traditions are passed on.
Yeah.
And I feel as though we are rapidly progressing into this, technological world, which is great, It's good to, advance in that way, but I feel like we are digressing when it comes to our human interactions and how we communicate with each other. So that's why I think this event is really important. And not gonna lie, I definitely feel like healed after, listening and talking with a group of people after being, on a computer screen for X amount of hours a day or on your phone screen for X amount of hours a day. So definitely is equally as healing for me as, other people have expressed to me that it is for them.
Yeah.
But
And so you used to talk about that stuff on Mo Better Mondays. Is that's kind of where this evolved from, was those conversations. Did you have a certain topic that you didn't know you were going to cover at a Mo Better Monday, and then it ended up like being a big discussion?
Yeah, that definitely happened a handful of times where we kind of like opened up almost like Pandora's box when you ask someone know how their weekend was or, what they're trying to do, because people can be as honest with you as they want to be.
Yeah.
And that can be very powerful, but can also be very, a lot to navigate, which is why it's good to have a group of people there to help you. So, yeah, I'm really excited for Talk to Me Tuesdays, and I think it's definitely needed. I feel like I felt like I was not losing purpose, but I just kind of felt just stuck in this routine of like, going to work or, XYZ. And I'm like, wait, I used to do this stuff like every week, and this used to be what I do. And now I'm not doing it, and no wonder I feel, a type of way. So I'm really happy to be back, and I'm really thankful that Kundan's going to be co-hosting with me because, yeah, Kundan's like really smart, and they read up on their stuff. They don't just pull opinions, off of like a random internet source.
That's
so
true.
I really, really appreciate knowledge is power. So thank you for being there and sharing that knowledge.
And also to your point, like I think in addition to the fact that we get to like, read people's body language and actually see each other and see each other as actual human beings rather than this, dehumanized thing. I think what helps is even like the context of music and art that also adds more of a healing vibe, especially when it's like real music by local artists, that haven't, are not too mainstream yet, and when we do that, we create more, we connect more to that deeper space of a real like humanity at the same time as like a wider possibility of consciousness, right? Where there is a space for these real conversations where we can have the tough conversations. And we've had those as well, right? And yet, like, even when we've had major disagreements, like, we were able to, like, actually talk it out with these, like, different perspectives and opinions. And that's the whole point of this, right?
Yeah.
Where in the end, like, change will happen with a change in culture and a change in narrative. And we can only do that if we actually talk to each other.
I agree. Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
So what's going to be the format of Talk to Me Tuesdays? Like, how is it going to work?
Yeah, so we're still, it's still very fluid right now. We're going to kind of have a similar format as Mo Better Mondays where, we vibed out to music for a little minute. We talk to each other, about our goals, our weekends. We have a featured either artist, performer, dancer. I'm going to perform as well. Similar to Mo Better Mondays, I was kind of like the opening act. I set the vibe for the performer. So, yeah, that's kind of going to be the format. We are still open to changing it. Like I said, we're going to have vendors, which is something I'm excited about, to have a rotation of, a different type of artist. You have, an artist who sings or has a musical craft and an artist who has a physical craft. So we want to feature all different types of artists, which I'm excited to do. The first one is actually going to feature Keep Me Safe 714.
Oh, I like their stuff.
Yeah, so I've had them at a previous event. I'm a really big fan of their work, and I wanted to make sure to have someone from Santa Ana, be featured. That's something that I think is really important, and why I wanted to come back for Talk to Me Tuesdays, because there's so much change happening in downtown, and if you've even been able to drive by it, without the road closures, you would see that they're making like a new, I think it's a mall or something.
Oh, what?
So there's going to be definitely a lot of changes coming soon. So I think it's really important to keep, the heart of the city alive, and really showcasing locals as much as we can, because it's something that, the people deserve, and, we got to hold it down.
Yeah. Well, if they want information on Talk to Me Tuesdays, they can go on Instagram at Talk, 2, Me, 2, SDAY. So Talk to Me Tuesdays with 2 in there. And yeah, so that's going to be starting next week. the 7th, you said?
Mm-hmm.
The 7th at 4th Street Market. Before we get into this other segment that I have, I wanted to talk to you about the solo stuff that you each are doing. Kundan, I know you're a part of different book clubs and reading events. You want to talk a little bit about those that are coming up?
Yeah, I've been running the poetry book club since 2021 at the Avida bookstore locally in Tustin. This is a local independent bookstore. So shout out to supporting your local independent bookstores and businesses. And I focus on poetry at that time, as well as short stories and essays, because it's so accessible. Anybody can read one single poem and have a life-changing experience, right? Yeah. Like I remember, the bookstore owner said that one of the poems that I picked from one of the books, her friend read it and she immediately started crying, right? That's the power of poetry.
Yeah.
And now, and I'm also expanding to other book clubs, such as I just debuting the launch of the Personal Growth Book Club.
Nice.
With an eye for choosing personal growth books that also take systemic justice issues into account. So for our first book club for that in February, in honor of Black History Month, we're picking the book The Enneagram for Black Liberation by Chichi Ogoram, and that'll be on February 25th at 3 p.m.
That's an interesting combination of genres. So it's like a self-help book, but it also helps you, be conscious of social issues.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a unique twist to it, right? So that's February. And then for the Poetry Book Club, I'm really excited that I'm doing a whole thing for National Poetry Month in April, where every Saturday we're inviting a published author of a book come and do an actual author event every Saturday. Mm-hmm. 3 of the authors are coming in person and 3 are coming in Zoom, via Zoom. And then they'll do an author Q&A, a book signing, everything. So it will be more than a book club. It will be an actual book signing and author event. Mm-hmm. That's every Saturday.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. In April. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll definitely promote that when it comes up on our events too, on our events segment. And Frosty, next Saturday the 11th, you're actually be doing a great show. You can tell us about it?
Yeah, so on Saturday the 11th, the 5000s and I are opening up for Val 9 at the Constellation Room. It's going to be at the Observatory,
That's right.
which is pretty cool. That's one of the first venues I, remember seeing a show at. So if you want to come support, it would be greatly appreciated. Tickets are $16. And yeah, it should be a really good time. The band and I have been practicing. We are super ready. And I'm going to be debuting some new Frosty merch and, throwing out in the crowd. So if you want a chance to win some new Frosty merch. I'll make a little announcement here. I sold out. Thank you so much for your support. But I sold out of Frosty socks. But guess what, baby? We just re-up Frosty socks. And, I listened to the consumer feedback, and they're longer. They're a little better quality. They're a little bigger. So, the higher the sock,
look comfy.
The downer the fool. So we got the inches. That's right. But, yeah, thank you so much for your support. And, like I said, I feel like at least the scene in downtown or with my homies, it does feel like a community. So it's really cool to, be doing different things, working with different people for a common goal, which is, music, the love of community. So I think, if we all put our heads together, help each other out, places like the Rodriguez Show and how you help in different ways, it's really necessary because art, it's all around us, and it really improves the quality of life, especially after the super rough past couple of years. So yeah, I'm just really thankful to be here with you all, and yeah, let's keep the culture alive.
Nice. Well, that was great. I would have ended the segment there, but I still want to do one more thing real quick.
All right, yeah.
Before we go, I have a segment called Dope or Nope, and you're going to tell me if you think this thing is dope or nope. You just explain your reasoning. There's no timer or anything, but you just got to be like, all right, I don't like this because of this. All right, you guys ready for Dope or Nope?
Yeah. Okay, how do you want to do it? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first.
Can we both give our answers at the same time? How about Kundan goes first? Kundan go first.
All right, jelly donuts, dope or nope?
Nope.
You don't like them? No, they're not
Too
good.
Sweet.
Too sweet? What about you, Frosty?
No. Yeah, it's a weird consistency.
Yeah, I don't like that. Skateboarding.
Dope.
Dope.
Yeah. Have you ever skateboarded?
I've tried. Yeah.
It's fun.
I used to when I was younger, but not no more. Nah, just kidding. Nah, yeah, that's the workout for sure. But yeah, I respect people who can do it. Shout out to you.
Hiking in the forest.
Dope.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys had a great forest hike recently?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if you know this, but there's an actual redwood forest in Orange County.
Where?
Huh?
Where?
It's in Yobelander at the forgot the name of the park, but it's like the youngest redwood forest because they just started growing it, I think, in their 50s. But it's already pretty tall, like 90 feet tall.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's not as big as the Northern California ones that are just giant and you can pass a car through it.
But still.
Yeah.
Dang, that's cool. Yeah, I love hiking. I love being in touch with nature. It's really grounding. So hiking's super dope.
Vegan cheeseburgers?
It's gonna be a no for me, dog.
No.
It's gonna be a no for me. I respect vegans. Personally, I feel like the taste would not. I'm not down.
I'm vegan, but I'm kind of in the fence about it because it's too processed for me.
I see.
So yeah, so it's kind of a no. Yeah.
Early 2000s hip hop.
Dope.
Dope. Do you like hip hop from the early 2000s?
Dope. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And lastly, magic mushrooms, dope or nope?
Dope. Within moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah, dope. Same, like within moderation and with proper guidance. Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. All right. Well, Talk to Me Tuesday is happening next Tuesday and every Tuesday at the 4th Street Market. Kundan and Frosty, thank you guys for being here.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Caesar. Thank you, guys.
And we'll see you soon. Back to the music right now on
All
The
right.
Rodriguez Show.
Bye, everybody.
Woohoo.